welcome back to my channel. I finally have my egg chair in my office, so I'm really excited about that. But for today's video, I wanted to go through everything that I love doing during the fall season and just giving you ideas on movies to watch, books to read, TV shows to binge on Netflix or any other streaming services, and also activities that you can do. These are just some of my favorite things. Obviously, there's probably a million other things that you could do. You can find lists on Pinterest for bucket lists of the fall and all the things like that. But these are my top recommendations on what I personally like to do during the fall season. So let's go ahead and get into the video. First off, I want to talk about this beautiful sweater that I have on because it's giving me Weasley family vibes. So I feel like I'm right at home in the Hogwarts Weasley family kind of vibe right now. Anyways, the first section of this video is going to be books. I'm going to go ahead and get through all my top favorite books for the fall season. Number one is obviously everybody's top number one for the fall season is always Harry Potter series. I actually have not read all of the books yet. However, that is what I'm doing at this moment right now. I am actually watching the movies and reading the books around the same time as each other and seeing like the differences between the two and all that stuff because I've always wanted to do that. So that's what I'm doing this month of October, because if you saw one of my last videos, I talked about me doing a readathon, but I've actually already completed the readathon so that I will be able to do this in the month of October. I've also completed my reading goal for October, even though it's not even, like, barely even into October right now. But I went ahead and got all of my reading goals done, which is to read a book each week, and I already basically have caught up to that goal until November. So I'm taking a break from reading every single week and kind of leisurely reading Harry Potter. I am currently on the third book and third movie. I started this actually a couple of months ago before I even moved out, and I read, I did the whole first movie and started the second movie but never finished it. So I just completed that like a week or two ago, and now I'm on to the third movie and book. So that is what I've been doing. And then also another book that I don't have with me because I read it online is Pumpkinheads. I'll pop up a picture of it. But that book was so good. I would highly recommend checking it out. I heard so many good things about it from BookTube and Bookstagram a couple of years ago actually. I think it may have been last year that everybody was talking about it. But I just never picked it up and never read it. Like, I heard so many good things about it, and then I was able to read it as an ebook online, and so I ended up like loving the whole storyline and all of the like colorful pictures because it's a graphic novel, and also it only took me like an hour to read, so it was a really easy read if I wanted to quickly get through a book and wanted something for the fall season. That is the perfect one. But I also have a huge stack of books over here on my bookshelf that I wanted to get through, which some of these I've actually already talked about in previous videos, but if you're new to my channel, then these will be new to you probably unless you watch other book style videos. But the first one, these are not in any particular order, but the first one I have in my stack is 13 Witches. If you are like me and have had paranormal experiences in your life and have, you know, are in that spiritual type of sense and an empath and all of those things, this is the book for you. This book hit so close to home for me because of all of my paranormal experiences, and it's actually very, very detailed and interesting of a book. I don't even know how to explain it without giving too much away, but basically this girl, her mom ends up not remembering who she is, and she's trying to get her mom to remember her so she can have like a normal mom, or like a mom that, you know, loves her daughter and like all that stuff. And she finds out all of these family secrets, that her mom is actually a witch hunter, and that she finds out, like, she meets all these ghost friends, and the ghosts kind of tell her about their world and like how the two worlds collide and all this stuff happens. And actually this is the first book of the series, and the next one comes out next year. So I'm really excited because the ending of this book was a huge cliffhanger, and I read through this book in like 4 days. Like, it took me no time to read it. It was so good, and it's such an easy read because I think it is like a middle grade, but like the print of it is so big. It's like big enough to where I could read it like super quickly. So I would highly recommend this if this is it. This next book is The Magpie Society. The second book of this actually comes out at the end of November. I have already pre-ordered it because this is one of my favorite books. I actually just read it for the second time this year because my book, when I ordered it last year, came a little bit later. This book is very much like if you've ever seen Wild Child on, it's like if Wild Child and Harry Potter were kind of mixed together. That movie is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie so much, but that kind of storyline mixed with like Harry Potter and like murder mystery kind of vibe. That is kind of what this book is. So, highly recommend this book at that. The next one I've recently talked about is The Gilded Girl. I kept saying The Gilded Child for some reason, but it's The Gilded Girl. And this book was so good. It had so many details. I've actually done a whole video talking about this book before, but Emma ends up going to this school of magic and to learn how to keep her magic at the end of the semester. And they do a kindling chant kind of thing where they end up they have to like magic comes out of their fingers and like all this other stuff happens. It kind of sounds very vague, but I don't want to give out too much information because this book is a must read for this season. It's and then the other girl, Izzy, she's actually a servant at the school, and all this crazy stuff happens where the girl like I'm trying to think how to explain it. Where the girl ends up not being able to go to the school anymore, so she ends up becoming a servant as well, and then they like go on this grand adventure to try to be able to keep their magic because servants aren't allowed to keep their magic, and all this other stuff happens. It's just a lot of information, and I don't want to give out too much information with this book because it is, just trust me when I say that this book is so good. I read it in like 3 or 4 days, and it was such a good book. I didn't want to put it down. It was so good. The next one is The Cheerleaders. I read this book, I believe, either earlier this year or last year. Typical murder mystery book. Very, like, obviously you find out all these different details about the group of friends and what happened to the girl and figure out like the whole mystery of it. It's just your typical murder mystery book. The next one is the One of Us is Lying book. I also have Two Can Keep a Secret. I was trying to remember what it was called because I haven't read that one yet. This is another murder mystery book. You follow the lives of 4 different people, and they tell you, it's very much like if Breakfast Club was a murder mystery, then this would be that book where they all meet in detention. Somebody ends up getting killed, and they have to figure out how they died and what happened. That is basically this book. And then the other book is called Rules for Vanishing, and the reason why I got this book was because I heard so many things about it from Bookstagram and BookTube, and I feel like if I can read 13 Witches, I might be able to read this. I'm just not really sure. But from what I've read of the synopsis of it is that this girl's sister or friend goes missing in the woods, and there's like this trail that they have to take to try to find her, but no one ever wants to go on this trail because they know that once you go in, things will be completely different or you won't come back into the real world. And all these like crazy creatures and creepy ghosts and different things like that pop up in this trail in the forest where they try to go save this girl. And because I think the girl was trying to find the girl that went missing before her, and then the girl, and so she took off, and then her friend or sister was like, wait, we gotta go save her because she can't go back there because of all this stuff happening. Something like that. I don't really know, but it looks it seems like it's going to be an interesting book. I just have not got the courage to read it yet. So that is all the book recommendations I have for the fall as of right now. If you have any more recommendations for me, leave them down below because I will love to check them out because I'm really into reading at the moment. Okay, so moving on to movies. So I have a couple of movies, obviously the Harry Potter series, but then there's two movies that I recently watched this year that I have to say fall perfectly into the fall-autumn vibes, and that is the new Cruella movie on Disney Plus and Enola Holmes on Netflix with Millie Bobby Brown in it. Those two movies are such good movies. They're both 2 hours long, but they are a must-watch if you've not seen them yet. Another few movies that I love to watch every year during this time of year is the Halloween Town movies, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, The Little Vampire, Twitches, pretty much any of the movies that are on as a DCOM, like a Disney Channel original movie. Also, Double Double Toil and Trouble with the Olsen twins is another good one. That's on Hulu. Beetlejuice, any of the like Tim Burton type movies. I will tell you guys, I do have an unpopular opinion, and I feel like I'm going to start a war in the comments. But I have to say that, and you will be surprised that this is not on the list because I love all these like types of cutesy little Halloween movies. But the one Halloween movie that I absolutely cannot stand because I find it so beyond boring and just, it's an unpopular opinion. Everybody's going to come after me in the comments, but I do not like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Also, I totally forgot, Hocus Pocus is another big one. I watch it every single year on October 1st. That is like my absolute favorite. I actually watched it earlier this year because I just could not wait. But Hocus Pocus, but yes, going back to, I do not like The Nightmare Before Christmas. I cannot stand that movie. I tried to watch it this year all the way through, and I was so beyond bored with it, and the ending just didn't, it just kind of like ended and didn't like have a legit ending to me. I don't know. I just do not like that movie. So sorry to anyone that is like their #1 movie that they have to watch every year. But I just cannot stand that movie. But anyways, also another good one that's more for the older audience, because I don't know if I have any younger people watching, but Jennifer's Body is another good one I watched this year, and then, which I've seen it before, but that's a good creepy movie for you older people, and because obviously it is like rated R, but like depends on, you know, what you're allowed to watch or anything. Also, another good one that's kind of more on the like psychological vibe of like creepy is The Glass House, and I believe that's on Hulu, and it's really good if you've never seen it before. Also, what is the other one I was going to say? On I think HBO Max has, or it's either Hulu or HBO Max, so I'm pretty sure it's HBO Max, has The House of Wax, which is another rated R movie. The House of Wax is another good movie. I actually haven't seen that movie since I was a little kid, so I do have it saved in my list. Also, another one is Practical Magic. I watched that recently with my mom. I mean, I've seen it before a million times. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. I absolutely love Practical Magic. I watched it as like a 5-year-old kid. Like, I literally love that movie so much. Two other ones that I would recommend are The Others. That's a really good one. I watched that one in a very, very long time, but I would say it's a really good one. And another one that is good if you are more on the like creepier side, I personally will never watch this again because it is terrifying to me. It is like the one movie that creeped me out as a kid, but Darkness Falls is really, really creepy if you've never seen it before. It's about basically the Tooth Fairy in England, and it's really creepy. Also, another one that's really good is the Ring series, which I have not watched since I was a little kid. But yeah, those series are good if you're more on the like scarier side. And then for TV shows, I would recommend obviously like Stranger Things and those types of TV shows. Another one that's brand new to Netflix is Lock and Key. I've actually watched the first few episodes of it and then stopped watching it, and then actually the second season is about to air in a couple of weeks, so I was going to watch the first season all the way through, but it kind of has a little bit of creepy vibes to it. I would recommend that I love watching is Gilmore Girls if you fall cozy vibes instead of like the scary vibes or mysterious vibes. That is a good show to try. And also another one of my favorites, which I am rewatching right now, is The Vampire Diaries. But you also have the originals and legacies. And then for activities, obviously the number one thing is to decorate your place that you live in. If it's your house, your apartment, your bedroom, your bathroom, whatever, your front porch. Those are some fun things that you can do, is to just spruce up your space and get it ready for the fall season. Also another thing that you can do is go apple picking, go into a pumpkin patch, and then I'm trying to think of what else that I've done. Another one is baking. I just posted me making pumpkin bread for the first time this season, and I filmed a whole video of me doing that. I also am planning on making banana bread, and I'm trying to think of what else. You know, you can make those little fun little cookies that have the little pumpkins and ghosts on them, having, you know, a movie night or whatever. But those are some of the activities that I have that just bring me joy during this season. Also, another thing that I absolutely love about fall is the fashion. I actually bought a couple of sweaters. This is not from there. I think this is from Forever 21 or Rue 21. I cannot remember. The fashion is where it's at. I actually just got a few new sweaters from Shein or Sheen or however you say it. And so you'll see those in some videos and things. But yeah, so that is everything that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got a few different ideas. Leave a comment down below if there's any other ideas that you would recommend that I did not mention or just forgot about. And I will see you guys, and make sure to subscribe because I am so close to hitting 130 subscribers, and so tell your friends, tell your family members that love to watch YouTube, and tell them to check out my channel. If that would mean so much to me. And make sure to follow me on Instagram. That is where I do a lot of my updates and posts and things. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.